Hey, my name is Joe. I live in New York City, and I've been with Physique Academy now going on 22 weeks, and my coach is Kris. Just this past Sunday, I actually finished phase one, and I could not be more happy. I am psyched. I started at 180 pounds when I started the program, and now down to 144.6. So lost just over 35 pounds. I first heard about Physique Academy through my old coworker, Nick. I knew he was on a weight loss journey, or I knew he was on a fitness journey, but I didn't know the details of it until all of a sudden one day I go on social media and he posts a before and after pic of his journey. And I just remember thinking, what? Like in just 4 months, he went from that to that? So I reached out to Nick and I was like, give me all the details. And he told me he signed up with Physique Academy. He told me his coach was Kris, and he gave me Kris's number. And I reached out to Kris that day. We set up a time to talk. And after I talked to Kris, that same day, I was it. I signed up and I committed. I was sold. And yeah, couldn't be happier. My main reason for joining is I've never been able to get the body that I want. I've never been able to figure out how to have muscle and strength, but also be lean at the same time. I've been working out for maybe 10 years and I've been strong. Always consider myself strong, but it's like the stronger I get, the more fat I put on. And I could never figure out how to get that flat stomach, how to get abs. I didn't even think it was genetically possible for me to have abs. I just wanted to be, slim. And I could never figure out the diet piece ever. It's like no matter what I did, I didn't know what to do. So after I saw my coworker Nick go through this, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it professionally. I've never had a coach before, never had professional help. So I was like, let me try this and see what happens. If anything, these guys will probably know what to do and how to get me there to what I want for myself. So I did it. When I started, changes were happening so quick at the beginning and the results were addicting. Kris, we figured out a meal plan, we figured out a workout plan. And honestly, it wasn't hard to stick to. Like at the beginning, I think the changes you see are so profound. And every time you step on the scale, every time you do your weekly measurements and your check-ins, you see such changes. And you're like, okay, like this is really happening. Like these results are happening pretty quickly. And yeah, with Kris and the program, we do weekly check-ins, we do measurements, we do, formal check-ins. But even besides that, Kris and I would end up talking almost every single day. Even if there was nothing to talk about, Kris would end up reaching out to me, just being like, how's it going? Like, give me updates. How are you feeling? And like, that surprised me more than anything. He didn't need to do that. And that's when I realized Kris really was invested. And I appreciated that so much. That's how I knew I got the right coach, without a doubt. The way Kris reached out to me, we ended up talking pretty much almost every single day. And I would give him updates about my progress. So he was very involved in the entire process. Like, I think people need to know that towards the end of phase one, like towards the end of cutting, when you're achieving, like the pinnacle of the results that you're out to get, like that low body fat, it gets harder towards that last bit. And for me specifically is the cravings, like the cravings for desserts. I'm a huge dessert person, massive. At some point, like to achieve that low body fat, you have to restrict and you can't just eat what you want. And that was the hardest part to me. It started to wear on me mentally. But I think like it's so important to voice that this program helped me get through that. Kris helped me get through that piece. If I wasn't on this program, I probably would have just said, screw it. And, ended before really hitting that goal. But like what helped me get there was the support of Kris. Kris would constantly give me that support. He would be like, Joe, we're almost there. Like, this is the hard part. This is a struggle. He just put things into perspective for me. We'd talk about it. We'd talk through the struggles I was going through, and he'd constantly be a support system for me and be like, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And people need to know, like, if I didn't have this program, if I didn't have Kris, I might not have hit the results that I did. So it's not, even though the beginning was easy, it does get harder and it does take effort. But like, something that this program gives you is the support of the coach, of the program, to break through and get the goals that you want to get. And I mean, looking back, like, I'm so happy I stuck through it. Now phase 1 is done. I have a 6-pack. If you had told me before this program that I would get a 6-pack, wouldn't have believed it. So I'm just so excited now for phase 2 and seeing how my body gains muscle and the bulking process, and honestly being done with intense food restriction. Very happy that is over. So yeah, ready for phase 2. Now, would I recommend this program to other people? In a second. I talk up Kris to anyone with ears to hear me. I tell everybody about Physique Academy. I tell everybody about Kris. It's like, there is no reason for you not to do this. If you have goals, if you have a vision of a fitness goal that you want to achieve, and you right now have the motivation to do it, do it. Sign up. Physique Academy will get you there. Your coach will get you there. It will happen. There's no reason not to sign up. If you have that motivation right now to achieve the goal that you have in mind, it'll happen if you do this. The number one thing that's changed for me is the confidence. Honestly, the confidence that I have after doing this, and right now, like, every time I walk around in public, and I just like, the confidence is through the roof. And also, as a side note, one thing that has been life-changing for me that I didn't expect it was my sleep. I have always had terrible sleep my entire life, but this program, like, Kris didn't just focus on the diet and the weight loss. It was this like entire lifestyle shift, this entire lifestyle focus to just overall improve on every aspect of your lifestyle health. And sleep was one of the things that we wanted to work on. And my sleep used to be so bad. I would like procrastinate going to bed. I'd go to bed at 2 a.m. every day and need to wake up to an alarm at 10:30. I didn't even believe in the day before noon. I didn't know how to get out of it. But Kris pushed me. Like, we set sleep goals, and he like insisted that I improve my sleep, and we worked at it. Now my sleep has completely turned around. So this program didn't just change my diet, exercise, it's changed other aspects and habits of my life as well. Yeah, so here we are. Phase 1 over, 22 weeks in. Kris, thank you for getting me here. Couldn't be happier with you. Couldn't be happier with Physique Academy. I'm just really looking forward to now what the next phase brings.